Have you ever felt like the odds were against you? Then listen to the stories of these people, who didn't just start from nothing. They started from the bottom. Look, this man was a beggar in the streets of New York, holding a small piece of paper that read, "I got into a lot of trouble. I have a natural talent in my voice, but I've been through so much. I would greatly appreciate any help." For nearly 50 years, he worked circling around cars, cleaning windows. But in 2011, a journalist stopped by. He noticed the sign and asked him, "What's your talent?" The man answered, and what came out was astonishing.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
A deep, powerful, mesmerizing voice. The journalist was amazed. He recorded it and uploaded the video to YouTube. It spread like wildfire, all across the Hashemite kingdom and beyond. The media picked it up, and soon he was introduced to American society with a voice that could never be forgotten. His name, Ted Williams, the golden voice who became the face of major brands. After battling addiction and begging on the streets, he voiced ads for Pepsi, Kraft cheese, and signed deals with major TV networks. 2 years later, he published a book, sharing his journey from addiction to prison to homelessness, until he became one of the most recognized media personalities. Now, do you see this young man? He seems gentle, doesn't he? But do you know who he is? That's Fale Karai, a poor black child, just 6 years old, living in a rundown neighborhood. He was the youngest of 4 siblings, raised by a loving mother who would do anything to see her kids live better lives. Everything was against him, but he wasn't about to give up. So he went to the street, collected small stones, painted them, and knocked on doors, asking, "Would you like to buy this?" People would look puzzled. "What is this?" He'd answer with confidence, "It's a beautiful piece of art for your home." People were moved, and they bought from him. Soon, he began selling small household items, then skin creams for $1.50. He bought them in bulk and sold them to his neighbors. Fale had a gift for persuasion and powerful words. 3 years later, his mother decided to move the family to Las Vegas. She wanted to give them a better shot at life. Fale kept pushing forward with small projects until he became well known among the community. By sheer chance, a live TV show invited him to share his inspiring and unusual story. The audience was amazed. A child with such talent in public speaking. His story went viral, and soon he was offered a spot as an assistant host on the show Stone. After earning a good amount of money, he decided to pursue another passion, cooking. He launched a food business and earned his first $1 million before turning 14. A year later, he worked with a company, directed a radio show for teens, and invested in a publishing house. He published top charting books on the New York Times and USA Today. He even launched a charity organization in his name. At 15, he received a full scholarship to the University of Nevada to study business administration. Then, he wrote his first book, Real Religion, about those who are rich in spirit, even if their bank accounts are empty, and those who are rich in wealth, yet poor in soul. He later wrote another book, Self-Destruction, and because of its incredible impact, he was invited to the White House, welcomed by President Bill Clinton and a delegation from Congress. He became an honorary member of many business councils across the U.S. Everything he went through in childhood gave him the strength to achieve greatness early on. And he always said, "Comfort is the enemy of success." Success doesn't come overnight. The best way to succeed is to choose those who work with you, not for you. Yes, he dreamed alone, but success is never a solo act. Now, look at this man. You might not recognize him, but you've probably heard of what he built. Wallace Johnson was a simple carpenter. He worked in a wood shop for years. One ordinary day, his manager suddenly fired him. He was 40 years old, married, with children. And just like that, everything was gone. He didn't know how to do anything, except carpentry. In a final, desperate attempt, he looked at his home, designed 2 houses, and put them up for sale. It was a huge risk, his last option. But it worked. Buyers were impressed. He paid off his mortgage, and soon, offers poured in. After 5 years, he became a millionaire. You'd think this was the end. No, it was just the beginning. One day, a friend named Kimmons Wilson returned from a trip, complaining about poor hotel service. Despite the high prices, he said, "I just want a hotel that's affordable and actually comfortable." But of course, he couldn't find one. That's when the idea hit them. Small, clean, well-equipped rooms. Simple perks. Kids under 12 stay for free. Comfortable beds, top-tier service. For just $4 to $6 a night. Johnson said, "It's a cheap idea, but it can make a huge difference." So, with Johnson's experience in carpentry and real estate, they brought it to life. They co-founded one of the most famous hotel chains in the world, Holiday Inn, with locations in nearly every corner of the globe. And the best part? Years later, Johnson said, "If I knew where my old boss was, I'd go shake his hand. Because by firing me, he gave me my real life. I'd still be in that workshop if he hadn't." All of these stories are real. People who started from deep, deep below zero. And maybe you're in a better place than they were when they started. So don't be lazy. Don't give up. Dream and chase it. Because dreams aren't about money, but chasing them, that's never easy. And with that, the video ends. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more inspiring stories. Goodbye.